Hey guys, it's Jessica Hayes. I feel like I've been starting every single video off lately with I've been meaning to do this video for a long time, but this also has been a long time coming, probably because I've been putting quite the collection together. Finally, I'm going to be showing you my cruelty-free synthetic all-vegan brush collection. So it'll be 2 years in October since I transitioned to using only cruelty-free beauty, which if you're new to that, it just means a beauty product that is not tested on animals. And for me, the brushes were kind of in a gray area of that. There are a lot of brush companies out there that do call themselves cruelty-free, even though they use natural fiber brushes, so fur brushes. And basically they can be coined as cruelty-free because they're not actually killing the animals. But these animals do live a very sad life in a fur farm, and it's just, to me and pretty much everyone else that follows along with the cruelty-free beauty, it's really quite impossible to have a cruelty-free natural fiber brush. Since I've been doing makeup for 13 years, I have always used natural fiber brushes and I've always just had such a strong attachment to them. So after doing some research into different types of synthetic brushes and different brands, I've actually found that I do not need natural fiber brushes anymore. When I first made this decision, I thought I could never live without my MAC 217 brush, but I have found so many dupes that are so much better. So if you'd like to see the collection of synthetic fiber brushes that I have collected, keep watching and I will be showing you all different types of brushes, must-haves, and also some really affordable choices as well. So let's jump right into face. My absolute favorite powder brush is this one from Kat Von D. I feel like Kat Von D Beauty were the brushes that I finally thought, hey, I can actually do this with synthetic. I'd always been obsessed with a natural fiber brush for any powder product, but then I started using these and I began to realize that synthetic brushes have come such a long way, even maybe in the last 5-6 years. So this has been a life-changing brush for me for sure. I use this for translucent powder, for more of a bigger kind of bronzer style as well, but I definitely use this one on myself and on my clients every single makeup application. It's really, really soft and big and fluffy. And it also has this beautiful elongated handle as well, which sits really comfortably in the hand. Another one from KVD that I always use, this is the number 25 brush, and this is a precise powder brush. A lot of people use this brush for baking underneath the eyes and also underneath the contour to get a little more of a strong line. I actually use it for contour and bronzer, and I also use this brush for cream blush as well. We may as well stay on the KVD train. I promise I have more brands to show you. But this brush here, the contour brush, is my absolute favorite brush. First, when I got it, I was like, oh my gosh, I hate double-ended brushes because I leave all of my brushes standing upright in a cup at my makeup station. So there's no real way to leave this out. But I use this a ton for traveling. I usually won't even bring my big powder brush for traveling because I will use this side for contour under the cheeks. I'll use the tip of this brush for highlight on the tops of the cheekbones, and then I'll use the rounded side for blush on the apples of the cheeks and also for powder. Another brand that I use a lot in my kit is BH Cosmetics. This is a super affordable brand. I get this set. It actually comes with 8 brushes, so there's a few for the face, and then there's also these little ones for concealer as well, which are really great just to fit underneath the eyes and do spot concealing. But these ones I use for cream foundations or to put on primer and moisturizer on my clients. I feel like this is the most similar to the Kat Von D double-ended contour brush, but it doesn't have anything on the bottom, so it is good if you do want to put it in your brush belt or stand up. But this one is a beautiful, beautiful blush brush. This is the G35 from Morphe, and then I also have these little bad boys as well, and usually I'll use this if I'm doing a really kind of buffed out concealer underneath the eye. This shape, the G38, and also this shape, the G37 as well. So this one, the number 10 brush, I love this for foundation. This is a super dense and flat edged brush. I start off by kind of painting onto the face and then pressing it into the skin. I only use this one on myself though. It is so dense that it's kind of hard to clean, so I don't use this one for a kit brush, but I absolutely love it for doing my own foundation. Another brand that I love, but I haven't got a lot of their brushes, is the Real Techniques. I love this one. This is the setting brush. This is really good for underneath the eyes. It's also one of my favorite highlighting powder brushes. This is the Real Techniques setting brush. I would have a few more of their products, but the bottoms of them are quite large, so they take up a lot of room in my makeup storage cups. This is one of my favorite brushes, and it's so affordable. I just recently got these ones, and this is really nice and soft for bronzer and blush. It's so soft for a synthetic brush. And then this little one, which is great for that defined highlighter on the tips of the cheekbones as well. One brush that I've been obsessed with lately, this is amazing for cream contour. This is the e.l.f. 104 brush. They came out with this little set that have all of these clear handles, just a super cute design. The bristles of the brushes are so nice and soft. This one's really firm and dense, so I love pressing it into a cream contour and then just buffing it underneath the cheekbone and then kind of blending it out with the corners of the brush as well. There's also this one here from Linda Hallberg. This is the 306 brush. This one I use a ton for powder or cream highlight onto the tops of the cheekbones. My number one concern when I switched over to synthetic brushes was not being able to find a blending brush that would create that beautiful blown out diffused look like natural fiber brushes do. It's true, we learn that natural fiber brushes are best for powder, and I just always kind of had that stuck in my head and I couldn't get rid of it, so I assumed that I wasn't going to be able to get a great blend from a synthetic brush until I found these bad boys. These were absolutely the game changer for me for switching over to using all synthetic brushes. So these brushes are all from Cozzette, and every time I go to an IMATS I do stock up on a few more blending brushes from Cozzette. So this one is the S125. Pretty forgetful with all of the MAC numbers because I haven't used them for so long, but there was like a 226 or something, which was like a big fluffy powder brush. This is super similar to that brush and really good for blending out the edges of the shadow on the eyes. And then there's this little bad boy, which is the D220. This one I would substitute for my MAC 217, even though it's a little rounder than the 217, but this is great for actually applying the color and blending and diffusing it out into the crease, and then you'll use this to blend out and diffuse the edges. Another synthetic brush that I cannot live without, this is the Furless PPB1. It looks kind of fluffy and flimsy and not like it's really going to do anything, but it's perfect for doing the inside crease of the eye as well as blending out. There's something about it, the way that it kind of fluffs open when you're blending. It just is such a great blending brush, and this is also another one which I could not do my makeup without these days. Speaking of Furless, these ones are really nice for laying color flat onto the lid of the eye. They have a little bit of flex to them, so they're not super firm. So I would use these if you're doing more of a sheer kind of wash of color over the lid of the eyes. Furless have really great affordable synthetic brushes, and they also do a lot of kits as well. So if you're looking to buy more of a kit rather than just a few different pieces, I would definitely check out Furless because they have some really affordable kits. For concealer underneath the eyes or spot concealing, I have a few favorites. I do love this 40 brush from Kat Von D Beauty. It has more of a chiseled edge, so it is really good at getting up underneath the lash lines as well. This brush is also quite dense and great for cream concealers. I also use these little ones from BH Cosmetics from the Sculpt set. These are a little smaller, so they're good for doing spot concealing and then also buffing the concealer out as well. I love these for packing color onto the lid of the eyes when you're using something that's maybe a little more metallic or glittery or even a pigment. So I have a few different favorites. This one is from e.l.f. It doesn't have a number on it. I just bought it from CVS and it's just like a firm flat brush. I like the shape of it. It pretty much fits all over the lid and it's nice and firm too. I love this D240 brush as well, just because it's a little bit smaller for a little more detailed work. You can also use the very tip of it to fluff along the lower lash line. Also this D225 brush from Cozzette. It's quite a similar shape to the e.l.f. one. It has a little more of a thin tip, so that one's good for packing on, also for depositing color underneath the lash line as well. Here is another one from Furless, same kind of deal. Flat and firm and great for packing on color. This is the ME5 brush. Another sort of brush that I always use in my makeup applications is this style, the pencil style brush. So I do have this one here, which is another double-ended one from Kat Von D Beauty. This is the finest pencil brush that I have. And then on the other side, it has more of a rounded dome kind of firm brush as well. I also have this one, the D200 from Cozzette. Usually I'll use this to deposit color underneath the eyes and then I'll use something bigger and fluffier to blend it out. There's also this one from Furless. This is the Pro 3M. So this is the same kind of deal, pencil and firm. And then also this one from e.l.f., the 202 brush. Same kind of deal, synthetic pencil and nice and firm and great for underneath the eyes. For detailing and fine lining, I love this little Smith one, the 203 brush. The Smith brushes are made out of synthetic sable, so they stay nice and firm and packed and don't start to splay like some natural fiber angle brushes do. This brush is just a little bit bigger than the other one. This is really good for winged eyeliner on clients and for also stamping a tiny liner just along the lash band. I also love this little one for super fine lining. This is the 202 brush and I try to leave the cap on it so it stays nice and fine, but this is probably the tiniest fine liner brush and I love that for detail. I also love this little one, bDellium Tools. This is a 706 brush. I use that a lot for really super skinny eyeliner. I also absolutely adore the Smith 302 and 304 brush for lips. This is probably my all-time favorite brush for getting a really nice tight Cupid's bow. Also this one, it's a little smaller, so if you want to do a little more of a detailed lip, the 304 brush. Some of these brushes I've had for quite a while now and I can tell that they're not starting to splay out like a natural fiber brush would. So if you're into lips or lip art, then these are definitely a must-have for your lip brush collection. So for brush cleaner lately, I've been using the Beauty So Clean Wipeout brush cleanser. This is a really great brush cleaner. I like how it's got the spray on top as well, and it's of course a cruelty free brand. Another little accessory that I love is this brush container. This one, I used to have a few of these from MAC. I like them because you can adjust the height of the brush canister as well. So if you have some really tall powder brushes that you need to store, it's really good because you don't have to crush the tip of them and then you just kind of click it and then it will stay closed in your kit like that. Another kit must have is this faux leather brush belt from thebrushTools.com. My brushes are all over the place because I just pulled them all out to show you, but usually I'll have them all snugged in the little pouches there, and then you can just close it up and then it zips up completely. But also if you want to leave it open, it has a little belt on it too, so that you can clip it around you if you do like to use your brush belt like that. But I love it because you can stuff quite a lot of brushes in it and it just zips up super nice and compact like that for traveling. And of course I had to accessorize it with my little animal lover pin as well. Thank you for sticking it out this far. I know it can be a little bit overwhelming. It certainly is for me, but I hope that it was easy when I narrowed it down to some must-have brushes. Brushes, if you look after them and clean them regularly, they will last you so long. So if you are kind of in the midst of switching over to cruelty free, don't freak out and see all of these natural brushes that you have and think, oh my gosh, I have to throw them all away, because I certainly have not thrown any of my brushes away. I have some brushes that I've had with me since I first started makeup. a long time ago, and I will probably have them for another 10 years as well. So don't fret about that. It's more so just being aware of what you're supporting. So I hope that I've given you guys some great options for synthetic brushes. Like I said, I thought it was going to be really hard for me to switch over, but it was so easy. Thankfully, I found some really great blending brushes that just make my life a lot easier. I actually think they're a lot easier to clean as well, so it's cut down my brush cleaning time for my kit, which is wonderful. Who doesn't want to spend less time cleaning brushes? But also you're doing something for our furry friends and for the environment by choosing not to buy natural fiber brushes as well. So thank you so much guys for watching. If you have any suggestions of your favorite cruelty-free vegan brushes, please leave them for me below, because as you know, you can never have too many blending brushes on hand, so I'm always looking to expand my collection too. So yeah, I'd really appreciate that. If you have any suggestions, drop them below, and I will see you guys on my next video. Thank you.